Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Zara and today we have the lovely Tyrone who I'll be touching base with. So thank you so much for coming on. I wanted to give you guys basically just an insight to what he does, what he's about, and you know, all the things you can basically get involved in. So I don't really want to speak on behalf of you, so do you want to just basically relay what you do and then we'll basically go back into the journey step by step. Yeah.
This could be a long one. But I created LDNRBS, the media and creative platform, pretty much. That's, I guess, certain artists or people that are in the creative world are aware of. So yeah, that's who I am at least. And
when you say platform, is it just Instagram or what's your way of showcasing it?
We started on social media as a whole, but then it went into the live scene, and then I guess people started to connect to it, and it became bigger than I probably even thought it could be at the time. So yeah.
And is it creatives as a whole, or who is going to be part of this platform?
Anyone that wants to create and elevate. For me, it's more of a feeling. LDNRBS isn't just a rigid element of you need to jump down this route or you need to jump down that route. It really is just anyone that's creative and wants to make great things happen, connect with LDNRBS, and somehow, some way, we'll find a way. So yeah.
Amazing. So let's take it way back. So how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
That's a great question. I'm not gonna lie to you, 29.
29, okay. Yeah. And a bit like about you and some personal information, like what did you study as a kid? What were you interested in to get you to this point basically now? I've
always been around music. Always. I remember being young, my older brother listening to everything from Nas to Jay-Z to just loads of old school kind of hip hop. And then my sister on the other hand, who's a singer, heavily R&B. So I would even be outside of a room listening to her listen to Destiny's Child thinking, can you please turn it off now? Like, it's been all day. But as time went on, I started to grow, and that actually ended up being my taste. Old school kind of Nas, Music Soul Child to Destiny's Child to everything like that. And then I guess I gained a lot of love for music as a whole. And then I went to university I was a lot in sport.
Okay.
In the middle.
What uni did you go to?
London Met.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. So I ended up doing media studies and English, just writing. So that was always one of my things. I love to write. And just went within media, got my degree. Not gonna lie to you, don't feel like it did too much for me. I'm gonna be honest.
I could say the same thing, but I always think, you know, we probably learned a lot of transferable skills and things to do with like communication, presentation, which is probably like fed through everything you're doing in a subtle way that it's not necessarily directly.
It's not a waste of time.
Yeah. You grow and you have experiences which I think make you the person you are to be able to go on to do the things that you want to do. So.
And I agree with you. Like literally, I think it was more about the social experiences you said.
Yeah.
Rather than actually going there and the lecturer being able to teach me too much, because I felt like it wasn't even the things that they were teaching that I actually wanted to pursue, but it was a structure in which they had.
So with like studying media at uni, did you get to make a lot of good connections, or have you mainly done it outside of uni?
No, I think the only thing that I think at the time was inspirational was Noel Clarke coming in and saying, at the time again, just allegedly, you know, whatever. But yeah, it was inspirational, I guess, to see someone that has come from our environment and done great things. So that was probably the only real, and to be honest, within 4 years that I was there, should have probably got a little bit more. You know what I mean?
I feel the same.
Yeah.
But it's never too late, it's fine.
Exactly.
So where is it that you've actually grown up?
North West London. I'm from Greenford in West London. Not a lot of people come from Greenford, West London, but yeah, normally people say, I'm from South or from East. Nah, I'm from Greenfield, West London, so yeah.
And how do you think that's affected what you do?
That's a good question. I think many people from London, you're pretty much edged within the culture. I think we're not looking at it from a lens, we are literally within it. And I think everything that was happening within London, even down to a lot of the stuff that affected my brain, watching from knife crime to everything, I think I was literally right on top of it. So I think I got a good how can I say, I was just pretty much, I got to a window to a lot of stuff, which I think has definitely affected me today, and definitely affected my brand and how I pretty much want to influence. Because I guess if I didn't grow up where I grew up, I don't think I would be who I am. So yeah, I think that played a massive part in the way I do things now. So yeah.
Makes sense. So as you were saying, you went to uni, and then what happened after?
Couldn't get a job at all. Literally went everywhere trying to get a job. Couldn't get one. Everyone gave me the biggest no that you could ever think of. And I pretty much said to myself, you know what? You're going to keep on giving me no's. This is going to happen for about a year or 2 years. It literally, for the longest time, I got no's. So then I said to myself, I'm going to create my own platform. Forget.
Can I just ask, sorry?
Yeah.
What sort of jobs were you applying for?
I tried to apply to Vice. Tried to apply to a lot of people, a lot of places in the media field. So as I said, I adjusted my checks. I feel like I'm about to go off now, my Gemini stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I went into the media field pretty much just go anywhere because I felt like my ideas could offer a lot to a bigger business, and I just got no's. Pretty much. I guess they didn't owe me nothing, but yeah, I just got constant no's regardless of the qualifications in which I had. So yeah.
See, I don't know what your mindset, but my mindset to that is when you constantly get told no, it's just a clear sign that that's not the direction you're meant to take. So would you say that kind of motivated you? This might be what you might go on to say, but did it motivate you to then be like, yeah, I'm going to do my own thing, I'm going to make it my own way?
In a backhanded way, because I don't think it initially did that for me. I think initially I was looking in the mirror going, why would they, why not?
Yeah.
Like, why give me a chance? Yeah. Exactly, give me a chance. And then that built into frustration. And then that built into, I guess, self-belief. Because I started to think, I know I'm good. So let me really put my own ideas into myself and bypass these people and then become almost rivals to these brands. And I guess we did that, so yeah.
So when did LDNRBS actually start?
We basically, the group of people that actually started LDNRBS, obviously I'm the creator of it, but there's also a group of us. We ended up meeting in a youth club in Wealdstone, designed to get kids off the streets, because pretty much even outside that youth club, there was people being killed every single day. So it was literally to get kids off the streets. We grew together, and I guess we got taught all of these things, like using a camera, all that kind of stuff, just gave us inspiration. And I always kept in my head the fact that there's so many talented people around me, yet no one's going to that next level. I'm watching all of these people on TV, all these people prospering, and yet I'm seeing these people around me. They're all creative, they're all able to go to the next level, but none of us are able to press that button to get there. So I think as time went on, I came out of uni and I said to myself, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to call it, but I'm going to make a brand and I'm going to go from there. And I literally just called up a few of my friends and said, I don't know what we're going to call this thing, blah, 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 but we need to make something happen. And my friend James and my friend Andre, they were in a car, and we literally were thinking about the climate, and we're thinking about the fact that, I don't know, like when you look at mainstream creativity, there's got nothing that represents us. You've got a lot of people that are from where we're from, but we're not represented anywhere in a powerful way, in an intelligent way. And literally we just said rebels. And the fact that we're from London, we know that connects with us, and the element that there's a lot of people around us that obviously, my parents are from Caribbean. Now, we've got a lot of people within our group that have got parents from other places, yet that representation isn't really there, at the time at least, it wasn't really there, and that perspective wasn't really there in the forefront. So we just wanted to just come with a new thing, and we did that with LDNRBS, and we done a lot of authentic stuff like podcasts. We literally had one podcast where we, in our phone, I had my phone, put it on my car.
So wait, sorry, when did you start the podcast?
2017 or 16.
Wow, so you're definitely like a visionary in terms of you've jumped on things before maybe things have become really popularised and things like that.
Literally 2016 we released, anyone that knows us from the Twitter reign, Kendrick Lamar versus J. Cole versus Drake. We literally had that debate, and we put it online, and it just went a little bit crazy. Like I didn't anticipate it for some people to start retweeting it. Like I think we got, like, at the time it was crazy too, because you had like 400 retweets. At the time we didn't get nothing like that. The followers started going up. We get like 6, 7, 8,000 followers, and then it was just connecting. Everything we were doing just seemed to connect, and we were looking at each other going, wait, just us being ourselves is connecting with people. There must be something behind this. And I think we were inspiring ourselves by watching what was happening. And I guess it's by the grace of God, because I think that not only that, we are those types of people that I guess people are interested in terms of what content we were trying to put forward. So yeah.
So you said it's basically a group of 3 of you, and has that changed over time, or have you added people to the team or anything like that?
There's a whole team behind what we do. There's a lot of people that's associated with what we do. I'm the creator. I'm the person that's probably made things happen, but I think the other 2 would agree with that too. But yeah, we've expanded big time since then, and I think there's a lot of people that's worked with us in different capacities, whether it be videographers, photographers, everything. So yeah. Is
there anything or any type of person that you've thought, oh, we could do with that person that will enhance what we're doing, and that maybe you haven't been able to either connect with or haven't been able to work with yet?
Still to this point? I think that happens every day. I think every single day I'm around creative people. I always think, surely there's some way we can connect. So I guess I don't really happen, because I guess if there's someone that we want to work with or anything like that, it's just easy to make a connect. It's very simple. Not one of those people that are, let me email you and let me find. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's in like, is there any type of person that you feel like your team could need at this minute to maybe help what you're doing?
Anyone that's good at what they do. For me, that's all it is. You're a good person. You're good at what you do. I'd love to connect to those people.
They're just highly skilled,
talented people. Yeah. And not necessarily having to be overly qualified. Yeah. Because that's another thing that is a lot of people that aren't qualified and extremely capable. So yeah.
And of course, you feel like because when you're applying for jobs, you weren't really given the chance. You like the idea of giving other people a chance.
1000%. That's I think anyone that watches us online, I guess they would probably vouch for the fact that opportunities is number 1 for me. I think being able to see people go to the next level through the things that we can do, there's not much better than that for me, or at least feelings that I get from it. So yeah.
So should we go through some of the things that LDNRBS.
It's everyone. It happens to everyone. Literally, it happens to everyone.
Yeah. Should we go through some things that you've actually achieved throughout the years?
Wow, that's a good ask question.
Or like the things that you've thought, these are the most impactful things that we've done.
Putting out a live show the night before, thinking there's no way that people are going to come, and then it's selling out. For me, that was the first one for me. Like it's like whoa, like we've just. Yeah, I didn't expect it. I thought we would literally have air.
And were any of you experienced in anything to do with live shows, or how did you go about actually putting it together?
Watching others. I think I went to a lot of, before we done our first one, I went to a lot of shows. I'll tell you a quick story too. Basically, there was a still platform now called Art Meets Music. So they were doing loads of live shows in Shoreditch and Camden. I was going to so many shows around this time before we even did one. And I was in the crowd, and there was this artist, another artist that's out right now called Malik the Fourth. He basically was performing, and no one in how London is, no one in the crowd was messing with him. Everyone was just looking at him with the most stone face, but he felt his energy so much that by the end of the performance, they were all messing with him. Now in my head, and this I'm a bit of a weird thinker, in my head I left that thinking, because again the show was called Art Meets Music. I left and came out of the concept of art breeds creativity, which is obviously our slogan, because to me, it was art breeds creativity in the way he felt freedom. He didn't care whether they were rocking with him at all. All he cared about is what he was doing. By the end of it, they were rocking with him. For me, that was freedom, and that was an element of not caring about how people take you, just worrying about how it ends. Yeah. And I think that was the whole ethos where I literally was in a hotel room, and I literally said the concept to myself, and I was like, that's it. Lo and behold, that's what's been connected to LDNRBS from the jump. So yeah, it's crazy.
Amazing. So you said, you didn't really have experience, and then you just went for it. Do you feel like you're quite a risk taker then?
Yeah, I think I'm a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's number one. I think I'm one of those people that the moment someone says no or anything like that, I remember people try and put the levels of structure before me. I think let's just see what we can do first. Let's really shoot for the stars first before we try and limit ourselves. So I think if I limited myself before, I would be literally at ground levels right now, still trying to figure out how to go to the next level. And even right now, I don't want to limit myself. So, yeah.
Nice. So, what have you got planned in terms of live shows coming up?
We've got a lot of shows in 2022 with Box Park. A lot, literally. I don't know what's happening now with the lockdown situation, but those are proposed to happen. A lot of shows in general. So yeah.
What are the things that, if there was another lockdown, that LDNRBS would be doing?
Last lockdown, one of the things that took us, I guess, to another level online was I think we entered lockdown on like 14K. We ended it on like 28.
Amazing.
And yeah, we doubled our whole online platform through the show Spotlight. So just creating. For me, I feel like when lockdown happened, I think for creatives, they can literally sit and twiddle their thumbs, or you can literally step up to the plate and go, okay, I'm gonna overcreate and make the most amazing situations happen. And I think LDNRBS, us as a brand, we stood up to the challenge.
Yeah.
And we created something that I'm not worried about. It's one thing to sit here and say, okay, well, it's amazing that we built our following. But for me, the most amazing thing was the way we apparently affected people. For me, that was the one thing that I think I take from it that really, really resonates with me. The fact that there's so many people that came away from it going, that experience was incredible. And the amount of people that I met through that whole show, the opportunities that have been offered to me, like even shameless plug, but this weekend, even Walk the Line ITV coming out, I've had an opportunity to work on a show that wouldn't have happened if lockdown didn't happen and I didn't create the Spotlight. So the way it has a knock-on effect and the way that you can almost be inspired to make another thing happen, crazy. So,
yeah, you've got to just put your work out there. So for those who don't know already, do you want to explain what Spotlight is?
Spotlight is basically a show on IGTV, basically literally just having presenters up and inviting loads of talents on, and it's almost like a competition. So we literally got quarterfinals, semi-finals, final, all of that first round, preliminary rounds. Can't get my math around that name, but it's alright. But everything, and it's a very, very big show. And in terms of the way it's produced, a lot of stuff was going into it to make it happen. But it seemed to connect with people. Seemed when lockdown happened, it seemed like it just a snowball effect kept on happening. The amount of people that are well known that literally jumped in on it was again showing the authenticity of what it was. It was literally people going up there and showcasing their talent and even building their followings from it. So yeah, and I've not really done that many interviews at all, but even shout out to the people that got involved, like Notes, I'm Just Bait, and for one that was even crazy to me, even to my family, Fat Man Scoop.
That is crazy.
Like for me, that was like someone that I've been watching on TV my whole, and then he ends up on my platform. So yeah, amazing. Literally that whole experience is amazing. The way, again, the number one thing for me is the way it affected people. So yeah.
So we've talked about live events, we've talked about Spotlight. Was there one other thing that you wanted to mention? Because I also noticed that you have 2 Instagram pages, don't you? You've got the music page. And do you want to just explain the difference?
So I think LDNRBS started to become a little bit, how can I say, we didn't want to just be associated with just music on one side of things.
Oh, so did that page start first then? Okay.
Yeah. So we literally just had that element to concentrate on that side of it. And I guess the Spotify has done very well. So I think we just wanted to just change, just make a difference. Because there's a lot of stuff that's even happened in 2022 that wouldn't be just music related. So yeah, we just wanted to separate the two really.
So what else have you got planned for 2022?
I always sit here, I said it to you before, I literally, every single time I try and plan that type of thing, it never happens that way. So for me, the number one thing is just creating more and never seeing no limitations with anything that's happening and inspiring more people and being inspired by people. Like I'm even say today, you guys are sick. So even that, it's inspiring to see, and just seeing more people that are creating more things, for me, that's all I'm worried about. So yeah, just building empires and seeing people build empires. So yeah. And
I want to ask for the people that are interested in kind of like following your lead and maybe doing something similar to what you've done. How have you dealt with like being would you consider yourself as an entrepreneur in that sense?
That's a great question. So I want to sit here and understand exactly what an entrepreneur is before I sit here and say I am. Because I understand there's a lot of people that would have to say, oh, I'm a king. Oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that. I like to just say, I am who I am. I create stuff, and I guess it's connected with people. Sometimes with those types of words, there's a lot of stuff that comes with it that people want to hold you accountable for permanently.
Understand. So
yeah, I don't like to attach myself to these words. So,
okay, fair enough. But for people that they want to follow your lead, how have you dealt with maybe the aspect of would I need to get a job, or would I need to go? Has there ever been kind of like, you know, maybe like a dip in the road where you thought, is this going to work? Or, you know, just so people can get a bit of like maybe motivation or just some insight into how someone like you would deal with it.
I love the fact that you asked that question, because that's probably been one of the biggest battles, even for myself.
And people don't talk about it, and I think it would help so many people.
So many amazing creative people that aren't given necessarily the confidence to feel like they can make it in this world. I know my family might even see this, but I don't really care. It's fine. They know exactly what it is, in the sense of I don't believe that I was believed in this sense early on, which I understand to a point, because I guess it's not marketed to be, okay, well, I'm going to create something. I'm going to create a platform and I'm going to go and do something, and I'm going to make, how can I say, opportunities happen for myself. It's not necessarily seen as the most normal thing as saying I'm going to go be a doctor or I'm going to go do this and go do that, I guess. But for me, I would just say, for anyone that is watching this potentially that wants to go on and do that, if you're good at what you do and you can see the connections happening from it, research, build for yourself and believe in yourself. Like that's the number one things, because there's going to be at least 20 people a week that will tell you, or even not even tell you, but give you a certain energy that makes you feel like this isn't for you. But ironically, those are the same people that will end up buying tickets to what you do in the future, and that happens in abundance. So yeah.
No, that is inspiring to hear. Who inspires you?
Wow. I'll give it two answers. I'm inspired by a lot of things in terms of extraordinary people. I'm one of those I'm like a geek. I sit on YouTube and I just watch everybody, and I watch energies. I love to see that inspires me. Another thing that inspires me is good people. Good people that are able to break barriers down. That's another thing that inspires me. Not necessarily, I'm not one of the big people that loves to, because you got 4 million followers, you're inspiring to me. Not often. It tends to be certain people that have certain values and just great energy about them. The people that are just normal people that have great energy about them. That's always stuff that inspires me, and life inspires me, moments inspire me. People trying to make great things happen for themselves inspire me. So yeah.
Nice. Have you got any public figures that inspire you? Anyone specific?
I'm trying to think. The UK. Public figures that inspire me. I
feel like you're so in your own lane that even if someone asked me that question, I wouldn't really know, because I feel like, you know, as you said, you sit there and you watch different people, you get inspired by different people. It's kind of like the collective of those people
literally
is what inspires you.
You said it. Yeah. You literally said it in a sense of.
I had a feeling that was what it was.
I can't sit here and say one specific person, but I am inspired on a constant basis and a daily basis by a lot of things. I could probably leave here today and then probably meet someone that could inspire me, like a man on a train. A man, I could drive past someone and have a conversation. That kind of stuff.
Take something away from
away from every single situation. So that's me.
So another question I wanted to ask about, I know a lot of people that would want to start maybe a platform or events or anything like that, they would find it kind of like maybe overwhelming to be able to manage their time and get everything done. How do you like work in terms of creating your work-life balance, managing yourself, time management, all of those things?
It's very hard. I'm being honest with you, it's very, very hard. I think that's been one of my struggles going forward, even still to this day. Being able to take myself away from what I do and learning to rest. Because sometimes it could be 24/7. It could be on a Sunday at 5 p.m. when you want to rest. But sometimes when you're addicted to doing what you do, it doesn't stop. But a work balance, a healthy work balance, I think is key to being able to have longevity. And so anyone that is planning to do that, I think a balance is key to being able to be, I think health is a massive thing for me. If you're able to be healthy, you're able to move forward and able to prosper in so many different ways. So yeah.
And are you able to do anything outside of what you're doing as like hobbies or for fun? Like, do you have like other interests which are completely unrelated to what you're doing?
So much.
Yeah.
Family, like friend, like I'm football, watching sport, boxing, like everything. To be honest, I'm probably more sometimes, how can I say, that's another thing I'm inspired by, but I'm probably more engulfed in those things mentally than I am actually in what I'm doing.
That's good, because a lot of people have this like perception that, you know, when you want to create a big platform and you want to do something big, you've got to just only focus on that thing.
These people will kill me. Yeah, I can't lie to you. These people will kill me. These people within the industry, they'll kill me if I was sitting here trying to concentrate or figure out all of the energies that's happening within this thing. That's why I always say the industry is the industry. I am definitely not a part of it. I'm just one human being that creates things within my space and has managed to make things happen with it. But in terms of the industry and that world, not for me at all.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to leave it there. You've dropped literally so many gems for the viewers. So I want to thank you so much for coming here and giving your views. I really appreciate it. So yeah, thank you so much guys for watching. Please keep supporting the channel, like, subscribe, comment, all of that. We've got our Touch Base news music series coming out soon, so stay tuned.
On your butt,